The cry that split the night. The night Amina was born, the moon hid behind thick clouds, and the wind howled like an animal wounded by memory. In the village of Ogudu, where every woman's head shone smooth as polished calabash, her mother's scream cut through the darkness with unnatural force. When the midwives finally lifted the child into the firelight, the room fell silent. From the baby's tiny head flowed dark, soft hair, thick, living, undeniable. One old midwife dropped her gourd, whispering prayers that tasted of fear. Another ran outside, shouting for the elders as if death itself had entered the hut. By dawn, the entire village gathered. Some knelt in awe, others spat on the ground to ward off curses. The oldest elder, Mama Eje, stared long at the child and murmured, "What was buried has remembered us." No one needed explanation. Long ago, the women of Ogudu had broken a sacred covenant, mocking the river goddess who once blessed them with beauty and fertility. The punishment was swift and eternal. No woman would ever grow hair again. And now, in defiance of history, one child had arrived crowned with what was forbidden. A childhood watched by shadows. Amina grew like any other child, laughing, running, and learning the rhythms of village life, but her hair grew faster than time itself. Her mother wrapped it in cloths, hiding it beneath layers of fabric, yet strands always escaped like secrets, refusing silence. Children followed her, some touching her head with wonder, others throwing stones and shouting, "Spirit child, curse bringer." By age 7, Amina had learned to walk with her head bowed, not from shame, but from caution. At night, Amina dreamed strange dreams. She saw a river that spoke in a woman's voice, and hands that reached from water to braid her hair with light. She woke with her scalp warm, humming softly, as though her hair carried whispers from another world. Her grandmother warned her never to let her hair touch the river, never to show it to strangers, and never, under any circumstances, to cut it. "Your hair is not yours alone," she said, voice trembling. "It belongs to the past, and the past is hungry." Love and envy walked together. As Amina blossomed into womanhood, her beauty became impossible to hide. Her hair flowed like a river at sunset, thick and alive, catching the sun in ways that made even the men forget their words. Some women admired her secretly, sneaking glances with longing in their eyes. Others whispered venom into the night, blaming Amina for every failed harvest and every sick child. "Why her and not us?" they asked the ancestors in bitterness. Men began to fight over her presence at festivals. Mothers warned their sons away, fearing the wrath of unseen forces. Yet desire is louder than wisdom. Amina's kindness won many hearts, but it also sharpened resentment. One night, as she returned from the market, she felt footsteps behind her. A blade flashed in the moonlight, slicing at her hair, but she screamed and ran, leaving strands behind like fallen feathers. By morning, those strands had turned to ash, and the village understood the danger had begun. The elders speak too late. The council of elders summoned Amina at dawn. They sat in a circle, faces carved by fear and pride, debating whether she was salvation or destruction. Some demanded her exile, claiming her presence mocked the gods. Others argued she was a sign of forgiveness, a bridge between curse and mercy. Mama Eje struck the ground with her staff, her voice sharp as thunder. She said, "We buried truth with our sin. Now it has returned with hair upon its head." That night, the shrine of the old river goddess burned. Flames climbed into the sky, and drums beat in panic. Amina watched from her hut as masked figures danced with madness in their eyes, calling for blood to cleanse the land.
Her mother wept, clutching her, while her grandmother whispered ancient chants. In the firelight, Amina's hair glowed faintly, as though answering a call no one else could hear. Kidnapped by fear. They came before dawn, armed with ropes and charms. The women who resented her most led the charge, their bald heads painted white with ash. Amina fought, screaming, her hair whipping like living ropes, knocking one man to the ground. But fear has many hands. They dragged her toward the forbidden forest, where the old spirits were said to sleep hungry and angry. As they crossed the riverbank, the water rose violently. A voice thundered from beneath the waves, shaking the earth. The captors dropped their ropes and fled, but Amina was swept into the river. Instead of drowning, she felt arms hold her gently. The river goddess appeared, her hair long and radiant, mirroring Amina's own. "Child of memory," she said, "the village must face what it buried, or it will never be free." The truth beneath the curse. The goddess showed Amina the past. She saw women of Umu Ogudu mocking sacred rites, cutting their hair in pride and laughter, spilling offerings into the dirt. She saw the goddess weep, stripping them of hair as a mark of remembrance. Hair was never the blessing, humility was. Amina returned to the village at sunrise, alive but changed. Her eyes carried storms, and her hair shimmered with power. The people fell to their knees, terrified. She spoke with a voice not entirely her own, revealing the truth of the curse and the path to redemption. To be forgiven, the village must confess its arrogance, rebuild the shrine, and protect what they once tried to destroy. Betrayal in the midst of hope. Not everyone wanted redemption. That night, a faction plotted to kill Amina, believing her death would end the curse forever. They crept toward her hut, blades poisoned, hearts hardened. But Amina sensed them. Her hair rose, wrapping around her like armor, snapping torches and throwing men aside. A struggle broke out under the stars. Drums sounded in alarm as people ran to witness the chaos. One man lunged, only to be stopped by Mama Eje, who took the blade meant for Amina. As she fell, she smiled. "Let truth live," she whispered, blood dark on the earth. The sacrifice of the living. Grief swept the village, heavy and cleansing. The elders ordered the shrine rebuilt stone by stone. Women confessed publicly, weeping, admitting envy, pride and hatred. Amina stood at the river's edge, knowing the final act had come. The goddess appeared once more, her voice softer now. "To heal many, one must choose," she said. Amina stepped into the river. As the water rose around her, her hair unraveled into light, spreading across the village like dawn. Women screamed as warmth touched their scalps. Slowly, impossibly, hair began to grow, soft at first, then strong. When the river calmed, Amina was gone. A village reborn. Umu Ogudu woke transformed. Every woman bore hair once more, but none dared boast. They built statues not of gold, but of clay, honoring humility. The shrine thrived, and the river flowed peacefully. Mothers told their daughters stories of Amina, the girl who carried memory on her head and forgiveness in her heart. Sometimes, at dusk, villagers swore they saw a figure by the river, hair glowing like fireflies, watching in silence. Children left flowers at the water's edge, whispering thanks. The hair that never truly left. Years passed, but the lesson endured. No woman cut her hair in mockery again, and no voice laughed at sacred things. When storms came, the river sang softly, and the people listened. They knew redemption was not a gift, but a responsibility. And in the deepest night, when the moon hid behind clouds, the wind would move through the village like fingers through hair, reminding them that some blessings are born from curses, and some girls are born to carry the weight of history, so others may stand free.